Hey guys, Paul from Meldrum Performance Coaching and Meldrum Performance Coaching Podcast. So today's podcast is about time management, and so this came about as I had a call with DJ Sackman, an NBA skills coach, last week, which was pretty cool. He's worked with a ton of NBA players, and basketball's my thing, so it's really awesome. So anyway, I'm on his coaching program, looking at developing basketball skills, and I saw this thing where it talks about time management, and he categorized time into three ways, and I found it to be really awesome, so I thought I'd share it with you. Time is either scheduled, spent, or invested. So if we're a personal trainer, which we are generally, if you're listening to my podcast, you're generally a PT. But time scheduled is stuff that you just have to do. So you have to do your PT sessions. There's no way around that, and it's good to have that. You need to sleep, you need to eat, like you need to go to appointments, so say medical checkups or whatever, dentists, what have you. So time scheduled is kind of like that constant that's always going to be there. And sure, it will vary from week to week. Ideally, our scheduled time will go up as we become more successful in our business to a point. But scheduled time is something that we can't really avoid. So we just, for argument's sake, say we're sleeping 8 hours a night, which is rare for a PT, and we're working 5 to 6 hours a day with clients. We'll just say 6 to round it up, which is pretty successful most of the time. 8 to 6, well, we've got 14 hours a day scheduled. So we know that for 14 hours a day, we've got 10 hours left in the day to do whatever we want. The next thing is time spent. So time spent isn't necessarily things that are ideal. So this is things like playing video games, scrolling through social media endlessly, hanging out at the gym, after your class, not doing anything. Commuting is something that you can't really avoid unless you work from home. So commuting is like a big use of time, so you'll be aware of that. So basically what the point is with time spent is it's time that we're not going to get back, we've spent it, but it's not necessarily driving us in either direction to our goals. So if we've done a bunch of trainings, say it only takes 15 minutes to get to the gym, we know that, we could probably put that into the scheduled time, we just schedule our drive. In our time spent, we can't get that back, so every moment we spend on our time, we're not going to get back. So we may spend 30 minutes eating, that's okay. Let's just say conservatively, we spend an hour a day, eating, that's very conservative. Let's say we spend 2 hours a day watching TV, we spend 2 hours a day on our phones, which is like a huge understatement. We've already knocked off 5 hours. And that's not including all these other things that we could be throwing in there, which is what people do. So we know that time spent is like a really big suck straight away when we start looking at it. The final category that we need to look at in regards to our time is time invested. So invested is something that when you put time, effort, money, or energy into, you get a return that isn't immediate gratification. So it's a delayed gratification return on investment. So investing in shares, for example, you invest $1,000. Unless you bought Bitcoin 10 months ago, it's not going to be a quick return. So it's something that you don't see straight away. So time invested, for every workout you do, that's an investment in your career as a PT, as far as I'm concerned. The more physically capable you are, the better off you're going to be in most circumstances. Time invested in listening to this podcast, you're going to invest 5 to 10 minutes each day getting one takeaway to improve your PT business. Time invested in a mentoring program, time invested in reading a book. And also time invested in the other things that you're passionate about as well. So if you're really interested in playing guitar and it's really important to you, investing some time in it isn't really time spent, it's more time invested because it aligns with your values and what you find to be important. And generally when doing it, it makes you a better person, which then carries over to better success in the PT realm. We don't become a one-dimensional human being, we also give ourselves a mental reprieve from the effort that we put in. So what my note of encouragement for everyone listening to this is to just have a look at your day, your week, your month, and look at how you spend your time. So what time is scheduled, get a rough idea of that. Have a look at what time is spent, get a good idea of that, and then look at what time is invested. And the easiest way to see a change in your outcomes, if you're using the right strategies, but generally even if you don't use the right strategies, so you still just spend time working hard, bring your time spent down and your time invested up is the quickest way to get better in pretty much every aspect of your PT career. So just by doing this alone, you can then, when you find yourself doing something, so I'm just scrolling through my phone, looking at Instagram, all right, cool, mine really Am I spending or investing? Looking at myself. So I'm definitely spending time. So I need to get off that and get on track and do something that's productive towards my business. So from listening through this podcast, I'm sure you can find at least 20 things that you could be investing your time in to get more. If you're at the gym and you've got time to spend, so you're stuck there, you can either sit there, scroll on your phone, complain about not getting leads, or you can spend time, invest your time, start talking to clients on the floor, building relationships, post meaningful content on social media to attract more people towards your brand. Study, you can study on your phone. That's not really hard. If you're doing an online course like my mentorship, everything's on video. Choose how you're spending your time. Is it scheduled? Then it's okay. If not, is it being spent or is it being invested? It's a huge mindset shift that you can apply to get better outcomes in your life.